This is KGW News at Sunrise.
The deadline to get a COVID shot has come and gone. Now state workers who didn't comply are waking up without a job. We'll hear from them coming up. Plus,
I'm just so blessed to be here. I'm just so happy to be home.
Oh yeah, emotional gratitude from this Boston Marathon runner who collapsed during the 26-mile run. How a Gresham firefighter who happened to be running right behind her jumped into first responder mode to save her life. Then later.
Cats don't necessarily need to be, whereas dogs are like, you know.
Are you following that?
What did she say?
Are you following that?
No.
Follow this. Pet Week on Sunrise continues this morning with a focus on the felines. So this right here is a local hotel and day spa that caters to the kitties.
Cat.
It's a day spa for cats, my friends.
Wow.
It's called Meow House, and it's coming your way at 5:15.
yeah, those kitties know what they like. They are a bit persnickety. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. We're also going to talk about Halloween candy. We have day 2 of our bracket,
Very
and
good,
somebody's dipping into the
I already started. I had to literally take this one out of my mouth because I was like, "Ooh, we're getting kind of close to the show." Right?
I heard the little crinkle of the paper.
What are you eating? What is it?
Swedish fish.
I can't work with
Brenda
these
and my
conditions.
top favorite candy.
I can't broadcast and look at that from your mouth.
I'm sorry. It's half
Better
sucked
take
on.
over.
This is the
Save us.
This is where I save the show. All right, let's get you to the Rose City camera. And up top, you can see what will be a perfectly full moon overnight tonight into tomorrow. Partly cloudy skies and chilly 42 in town right now, but some of you are in the upper 30s, and our fog maps are starting to show some reduced visibility here and there. So to the bus stop we go. It's going to be a nice dry day, a cool start, foggy spots around, 40 in Portland at the door, but 57 at noon. Kids get out of school. They'll be in a good mood right up until the point you tell them they have something to do around the house. High today, 65.
Rob, thank you.
I'm going to miss everyone in that building. Best people in the world.
He's one of the folks waking up this morning without a job because they wouldn't get a COVID shot. Yesterday was the deadline for state workers to get vaccinated. The mandates in Oregon and Washington apply to hundreds of thousands of employees.
We're talking state workers, teachers, and healthcare providers. So we're going to start this morning in Washington. Governor Jay Inslee said 92% of state employees in Washington were vaccinated, but that still leaves about 5,000 workers whose jobs are at risk because they remain unvaccinated. Yesterday, we heard from people who lost their jobs at Legacy Health and also with the Washington State Patrol.
And why? Not because I'm a bad nurse, not because I did something wrong in my job, but because I refused to take a vaccine that goes against my religious beliefs.
Between my service to the country and the citizens of the state of Washington, I've got over 25 years, and it feels like, trying to put it nicely, I guess, it doesn't count for anything.
Again, those were workers with Legacy Health and then Washington State Patrol. Last week, Legacy Health said that just 5% of its staff was not vaccinated.
A clause in Governor Inslee's mandate excludes people who provide at-home health services. They don't have to get vaccinated. Many of these people are caring for relatives, and they're doing it in their own homes. As a result, Inslee says mandating them to get a COVID shot would be difficult to enforce. He also said it's already hard to find in-home health care, and a mandate would make that shortage worse. Right now, 46,000 of those workers have contracts with the state of Washington.
Well, it's also the deadline for Portland City employees and Multnomah County employees to get vaccinated. KGW's Alma McCarty checked in on those numbers and with Portland Public Schools.
The deadline has come and gone for many workers to get their shots or lose their jobs. For the city of Portland, the number of workers subject to the vaccine policy is 6,146. That's all city employees minus the Portland Police Bureau, whose members are exempt from the mandate. 91% are fully vaccinated. 342 got approved for medical or religious exceptions. 91 people are leaving their positions, and status pending for nearly 50 more. As for the county's 5,600 workers, less than 1% are accepting a separation, just 35 people. Of those, only 8 are regular full-time employees. For Portland Public Schools,
over 96% of our staff are fully vaccinated, and a little over an additional 1%, about 89 people who are partially vaccinated.
Chief of Human Resources Sharon Reese tells me around 175 employees chose not to get the vaccine and aren't subject to one of the exceptions. Therefore, come Tuesday, they'll be placed on leave while PPS processes their terminations.
We're anticipating about 9 classroom teachers will not be returning as a result of the vaccine mandate. A handful of our paraeducators, about the same number, actually around 8 of our paraeducators who will not be returning.
Out of 340 or so custodial workers, as of now, 24 will not be returning. Reese says several weeks ago the district was expecting even more employees to part ways over the new requirement.
We have had, in the last 60 days since the announcement of the vaccine mandate, we have had over 200 employees who went and got their first dose. So we know it's made a difference in people's decision around whether or not they were going to get vaccinated.
It's been a tremendous effort verifying the vaccination status of nearly 8,000. Reese says substitutes are already in place to take over for the handful of teachers that are leaving.
We have educators who their mission, their careers are all about students and the children in our community. And what we know is the vaccine is the way through this pandemic.
So next week, the PPS board will hear from health experts about a possible vaccine requirement for eligible students. Families can weigh in on this discussion. The first of 3 virtual town halls will be later today. We'll have more on that topic in our story at KGW.com.
Well, Washington State University's head football coach Nick Rolovich was the highest paid state employee in Washington to lose their job yesterday because of the mandate. Rolovich has said for months that he wouldn't get vaccinated, but he said he would keep his reasons private. He did apply for a religious exemption, but that application was denied. 4 unvaccinated assistant football coaches for the Cougars were also fired yesterday.
Portland General Electric, which serves 900,000 customers in the Portland area, says it hopes to be out of the coal burning business in 4 years. It owns 2 coal power plants in Montana after closing its only plant in Oregon 2 years ago. PGE also wants to create a 2-way grid allowing customers to sell back electricity during peak demand. For instance, a smart grid could tap into your solar panels or the battery in your electric car to get power when it's needed most.
And bringing all of those together in a way that the grid can remain, really reliable, and we can reduce costs for customers and keep it affordable, while also decarbonizing and getting to that 80% reduction.
Another PGE goal is to use enough clean energy to cut greenhouse gas emissions by 80% over the next 9 years and 100% in 19 years. It's now asking companies that want to help build that future to bid on those projects.
All right, this next story comes from the other side of the country, but there is a local connection. So a Gresham firefighter who was running the Boston Marathon helped save the life of another runner who collapsed during the race.
Yeah, Nick Haney was about 7.5 miles into the race when he saw people kind of crowded around runner Megan Roth. She was in cardiac arrest. That's when Haney, along with another runner, came in to help perform CPR on her. The new mom said it all happened so fast and that when the near-death experience happened, all she could think about was her son.
So it was like literally seconds, and I was like collapsed to the ground. Just the thought of never seeing him again is probably just, it's just the worst feeling in the world, and I'm just so blessed to be here. I'm just so happy to be home.
That's the biggest thank you that I know for me, just seeing her with her son is the biggest thank you.
Well, that was Haney. He stayed with her until the ambulance came. She's okay now, and she just expressed how grateful she was to Haney and the other rescuer via video chat. He said it was all a matter of chance, and he was just in the right place at the right time. We don't know yet, though, if he got to finish his race after that, but boy, yes, so good that he was there. All right, Rod, fill us in on our Tuesday.
All right, here we go. We have a weather system offshore. Some decent rain. This one comes in overnight tonight, continues showers tomorrow. probably average less than 1/4 inch of rain from it. But in the meantime, everybody's dry in Oregon and Washington, and we're hoping for a partly cloudy day, generally speaking. The question is, will the clouds increase enough to where it kind of becomes more overcast this afternoon? That could go either way, not really sure, but we will stay dry. Here we are at 5:30 this afternoon. Rain still offshore, and then we get into the later evening hours. Here we are at 10:30. Some showers starting to nip at the coast, maybe a few starting to push inland. Eventually overnight, I think most of us will get some rain. We'll see wet pavement when we wake up tomorrow morning. Here we are at 7:30 on your Wednesday. Some heavier showers scattered about during the day. Here we are at 12:30. And then current timing suggests that once we get into the evening hours tomorrow, that shower chance quickly fades away. Again, 2/10, maybe 1/4 inch of rain from all of that. This morning, looking at some fog pockets starting to develop. McMinnville, good morning. Yamhill County, reduced visibility all the way down into Salem. Salem-McNary Field now saying dense fog at 1/4 mile, and then that's pretty foggy all the way down to Eugene right now. So we're watching that. There are some chilly numbers. Kelso's 37. Portland's holding at 42 right now, and Salem, good morning, holding at 44. It's mainly clear out east, 23 in Birds, 23 in Baker City. You folks will have a beautiful sunny day coming after that chilly start. Numbers today, though, how about mid-60s on average? Salem 64. Wind direction is southeast to east, generally light today. 66 in Battleground. Similar numbers in Vancouver and Longview. Again, a nice day up and down I-5. Tomorrow the showers 60. Thursday could be dry until 4 or 5 in the afternoon. Then this is heavier rain, maybe 1/2 inch Thursday overnight, and then we'll add some showers to that. And then right now, Sunday, all of a sudden looks like it has the potential to be dry much of the day before rain moves in Sunday overnight into Monday. Today is the final day that looks completely dry.
We will get out and enjoy it then. Thank you, Rod. Okay, they say it is the Cat's Meow, a hotel and spa specifically for felines, and it has 2 locations right here in Portland. We'll take a tour coming up.